Hey there YouTube, I'm Joe, you're watching my channel Ink&Iron, and today I have a multi-tool video for you, and this one's very special, at least to me. This tool was actually paid for by the channel. We made enough money through advertising to buy a new tool. This is what I've been waiting for the last 3 years? 4 years? I don't know, but we're going to do a first impressions of the Victorinox SwissTool Spirit. This is the Spirit X model, and this particular one has the drop point blade as opposed to the, I guess, sheep's foot. And there's the proof. Okay, so let's cut into this using my Leatherman Squirt PS4 as a little stand to cut the glare. But our opening knife, this is the Spyderco Dragonfly 2. If you need a light duty summer carry, this is a great little tool to have on you. Okay. I guess we'll cut it there. I'm not really sure how this box opens. Okay, does it slide? It does slide. Okay, got a leather pouch. Was wondering, oh, here we go. Little information in here. This is like warranty stuff. The user's guide. Whoa. Slowly scan through this in case you need it. Okay, a lot of stuff going on in here. Wire cutting notches, wire strippers. There's, oh, a slot for a corkscrew. I did not know that. That's cool. It's all your tools, varieties. Cool. Yeah, this tool has a lot of good stuff going on, so I'm pretty excited to be able to use this. Right off the bat, I like this leather sheath. I do work leather myself, and yeah, this is pretty good quality. Oh, Velcro? I would not have gone with Velcro. I would have made this a snap rivet, I think. Okay, Velcro closure looks like just vertical orientation on a belt. And boy, that's pretty tight. It's going to be a little breaking in to get on and off easily. These appear to be solid rivets, so let's take out the tool. I've heard really great things about the fit and finish on these Victorinox tools, and hey, you can actually see my crazy haircut and a little bit of my phone camera in the reflection. So pretty high polish, not a mirror, but pretty similar to, let's bring in, this is a Victorinox Explorer model. I'd say it's, yeah, pretty similar finish to like what they have on their knives and other tools. So there you go. Leave this in here for size comparison's sake. Well, all right, let's open it up, eh? Okay, not spring-loaded, so similar to Leatherman. Looks like we have some oil from the factory. Always good to see a tool shipped with some oil. This is pretty generous. This looks like a lot of Chinese-made tools that I get, although this one is Swiss-made. And very nice rounded finish on these pliers here. They only join together at the tip. The tip is, can we focus on it? Yeah, looks pretty nice. Maybe a little bit more blunt than some of the Leathermans that I'm used to. Let's bring in, here's the Gerber suspension next. And quite a bit fatter at the tip than this other one, so interesting. Differences. Okay, soft wire cutters and hard wire as well, I believe. Oh, we have 2 notches in there. Okay, not sure why we have 2. Some decent teeth for grabbing bolts. Sorry, my hands are going to be a little oily now. I'm going to spread it out. Okay, you know what? Let me wipe this off because it's a little distracting even for me. Again, a very nice I guess, fine satin finish is what we're gonna describe this as until I have any better terms for it. You can see some machining marks on there, but yeah, overall very high quality look to it. Hope it performs just as well. Okay, so all of our tools, besides the pliers, obviously, are accessible from the outside. Let's get started. What is this one? Where do I grab it? Up here? This is the file? Oh. Here it is. Here's the nail nick. Ah, there's the file. Okay. Definitely caught some oil. The texturing, but yes, that is actually nicely textured, as a file should be. It does have a single cut on this side, so you could use it as a metal saw. Double cut face on here. On both sides? Or is that single? That is a single cut. Okay. And this one's double, I think. Hard to tell. I'm seeing some machining marks going in both directions. Does that look weird? Looks kind of weird, huh? It's like single cut, but has some milling marks in an opposite direction. Interesting. Okay. Oh, that is a very solid lockup. Here's your lock disengagement. Wow, that is super easy to disengage. Oh, dang. All right, that feels very nice. Very user-friendly locking system. That was a bit hard to pull out, these little scissors. And these, strangely enough, are very dissimilar to the common Victorinox scissors. Let me get the large ones out of the Explorer here. Sorry, looking for all the nail nicks. Can never memorize them all because there's so many models, but geez, look at the size difference. Okay, so different design. Still a smooth function. Kind of small. Most of the complaints I've heard is that these jaws don't open very wide, and I can concur. So because these scissors don't open very wide, they're going to be strictly light duty, I assume, on a medium duty multi-tool format. I think that's kind of acceptable. We can see already we're getting kind of streaky on the finish. I know this was heavily oiled, so maybe if I clean it up and buff it with a microfiber cloth, we can get some of these fingerprints to go away. But this may be a concern for some of you if you want your tool to look nice all the time. You may be spending a lot of time polishing it. Okay, scissors lock up. They are, yeah, you can move the foot out too far, but if we push like so, it tucks away just fine. Okay, more exterior tools. Can't really see past the camera. How about a knife? It's a pretty long blade. These are 1-inch squares. So what have we got? 2.5 inches or so? Not bad. Probably about 70, maybe 65 millimeters. Very similar to most other Victorinox knives in terms of finish. However, this seems to be a little bit more of a drop point, even more so than it normally is. Let's grab the Explorer again. Oh no, maybe I'm wrong. Can't really tell. You see what I mean? Drops a little bit more. Maybe it's just because it's a thinner blade design. Anyway, should work fine. Do we have steel labeled on here? Oh, we've got oil. We've got oil everywhere. Swiss made stainless. Probably the same type of steel they use on their other knives and tools, so not worried about it. Should resist corrosion very nicely and be a decent size blade for when you actually need a blade. And what is its companion? The saw. There will be a big old saw comparison coming soon for those of you who made it this far in the video. I've had enough people complain to me about not using a saw that I'm like, all right, once I have my representatives of many companies and multi-tools, we will do a saw showdown. So I'll look forward to that. This appears to be a bi-directional cutting saw. The teeth don't really lean one way or another, and it does have a blunt tip, so we won't be like stabbing into the wood if we slip out. Let's check here to see if it does appear to be ground a little bit more thoroughly up at the top than at the teeth. So this saw should work nicely, and as a saw is meant to be used. A saw, when you're cutting through material, should make a wider kerf than the spine of the saw. The kerf being the gouge in the wood that you're creating. If your kerf is wider than the spine of the saw will continue to move through without getting bound up. And I think this one will do. And yeah, it feels nice in the hand. This makes a very nice tool handle when it's all folded up, so I think it'll work pretty well. Okay, I'm having to like look around the camera because it's hard for me to see. This is one of the most interesting tools on here, and I am looking forward to using it. Okay, so there's a chisel tip, right? Ooh, that is very sharp. There's a package opener kind of tooth on the side here, a wire stripping arc shape, and then a smaller angled wire stripper down here. This is a very multi-function tool in a very compact design. And honestly, I have considered putting a chisel on my Leatherman Surge, and I think this will teach me whether or not I actually want to do that and modify one of my flatheads. So yeah, we'll see. This one's a little sketchy to close. I feel like you could pretty easily cut yourself on a lot of those edges that are on it. Not that you would. This is a very, very smooth tool to operate. Oh my gosh, the oil everywhere. Be warned, very oily. There's a bottle opener, flathead screwdriver, and this has to be a wire bending notch since we just saw the wire strippers. So if you're bending things, I'm not really sure what this tiny little wire bender is for. I think it's more for like fishing. I'm not very outdoorsy, so if you know better, please drop me a comment below. But yeah, should serve for small wire manipulation. Locks up super solid. You might even be able to use this as a prying tool. Not that I recommend it, but if you had to, you might have the capability there. Here we go. An awl/reamer, because I assume you could stick this in a pipe and ream it out. It is ground correctly for right-handed reaming. No stitching eye in it, which is fine. I've never stitched with an awl ever. And then this is actually the parcel hook. So let's reference our Explorer model. Check it out. See that? Pretty similar little hooks here. In Switzerland, I guess they get their mail by parcel, and it's bound up with twine, so you use this as a nice convenient carrying hook instead of having it dig into your fingers while you're carrying it. Very sophisticated tool, in my opinion. Let's see, can opener. I did use this can opener in another video, which I don't know if it'll be released by the time this one comes out, but this is a great can opener. This was by far the easiest one to use. So as long as it looks like this guy, whoops, wrong one. Yep, basically the same design there. Maybe a little bit of a wider flathead at the top. But yeah, this was the best can opener of all my multi-tool can openers, like by a long shot. There were points where I probably could have just push cut the can, and yeah, it was just gliding through. So excellent can opener if you need that in a tool. This is something I love to see, and look at the length of the shank on here. Wonderful, full Phillips head or cross driver. Focus. Got too much going on in the background today. Yeah, this is a great tool. I know because I have it on here as well. Oh, you know what? The non-locking tools have a 90-degree position for this. Does this tool also have it? Nope. Okay, so you won't get a 90-degree, but should be fine considering you can work this handle out and now you've got extra torque. So yeah, very cool. Glad to see this full-sized cross driver on here. Very welcome addition. Okay, and then this is our last tool, I believe, the small flathead driver. Tapered on both sides. Very, very fine. I don't think I'll have much use for this one, but we will find out. Alright, so sorry for rambling so much during this video. Let me just give you some quick size comparisons and then we will get out of here. So here is the Gerber Suspension NXT. Remember, these squares are 1 standard inch in size. Here is Victorinox Explorer. Here's a Spyderco Dragonfly. And yeah, why not throw in the Leatherman Squirt PS4. So there you go. It's a medium-sized tool, fairly thin, not a whole lot of excess going on, quite dense. I believe, just feeling it in my hand, that it's heavier than the Gerber Suspension Next. This was only like 6.8 ounces or something, so not too bad for a medium-sized tool. This, it's got to be at least 7, not sure. Full review will have all the specs on this guy. Oh, and then this right here is meant for the corkscrew, although that appears to be an accessory and does not come with the basic kit. So be warned, if you're looking for the corkscrew, looks like you have to pay separately for that. Okay, and there is the Victorinox SwissTool Spirit X. Really looking forward to using this thing. It really does feel good. People have told me that it's an extremely high quality feeling tool, and so far, first impressions wise, I definitely agree. You can bear all the way down on these handles. They do not interfere with each other at any point. Oh yeah, I didn't look for any tools in the crotch here, but I don't see anything. I do like the curvature on here. It makes it fairly comfortable. Yeah, it's definitely more comfortable than the Gerber Suspension. Yeah, no, I can feel my hand like sinking into that one. It's this gap is too wide, I think. I think they went too wide with the gap. This smaller gap with more rounded edges is really working very well for the Swiss tool. Okay, well, that's that. Let's get a little shot for the thumbnail, and we will get out of here. Make sure you stay tuned for the full review of the SwissTool Spirit X. Anyway, for more multi-tool stuff, as well as I'm going to do some like leather craft, EDC gear, that kind of thing, stick around, subscribe to the channel, because I got more coming. Alright, thanks for joining me. Catch you on the next one. Bye.